What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at Apple's slowest ever Intel Mac and see how useless it is in 2025. It's a Mac Mini with a single core processor. I obtained it in an eBay lot in a video over a year ago, along with its counterpart, the Core Duo Mac Mini. There's also a mountain of cables in the eBay lot. Arguably, I paid too much for a mountain of e-waste. These vintage Mac Minis that are totally worth $80, I didn't waste my money. They're first year Intel machines from their first switching away from PowerPC over to Intel. See behind me, that's a Power Mac G5, the original cheese grater Mac. And that is not an Intel machine, that is an IBM PowerPC processor. And switching from that to Intel was a big thing, and in that switch there was only one Mac that had a single CPU core. Here's Steve Jobs announcing it in 2006.
Today we are introducing a Mac Mini with an Intel Core Selah.
I was pretty shocked to see that this Mac Mini has gigabit Ethernet in it.
If we look in the back of the product, we've added gigabit Ethernet.
The current Mac Mini has gigabit Ethernet in it. What? And they charge you for 10 gigabit Ethernet when the 2006 original Intel Macs had gigabit Ethernet on them? So I guess Timmy's chilling with his Vision VR, and I guess he just forgot that a Mac with 512 megabytes of RAM and 64 megs of VRAM that shipped with USB 2 ports in 2006 has the same Ethernet port as the current Mac Mini, while they charge you $100 for an upgrade. Oh, I see. They just want you to pay an extra $100 if you need the faster Ethernet. I've worked long and hard on this video, so I'd appreciate it if you'd share it with a friend right now. Go on. Do it. Ever since the video where I obtained this Mac, it's been sitting in its individual pieces. So first we have to put it together and hope it works. This Mac Mini is from 2006, and that was before they invented software pairing to prevent you from repairing your computer. So I can actually repair and pretty much replace every single part so long as it'll work. First off, let's get this computer in a state where I can turn it on and see if it even does anything before I start actually doing stuff. First, I gotta put that CD drive in there, 6 screws, and then the hard drive, 4 screws on that. That's all in the mid frame there, which needs to be put into the computer itself. I'm not gonna bother to screw that in, but there are 2 connectors, one for the fan, one for the audio board, I believe it is. So let's test it using the power supply, which is this enormous thing. That's right, you need this for it to power on in the first place. So here it is, plug it into power. That's the boot chime. I didn't even press the power button. This Mac only supports a single external display via DVI, and I need to get it to HDMI, which is going to be a little bit cursed. The best way I have to turn DVI into HDMI is this, a DVI cable, which will mean I have a male end to plug into the female end of this adapter, and then a male HDMI on that end to plug into a female to female HDMI adapter. Yes, those exist. And then a regular HDMI cable to plug into that end for a very cursed cable that should work. You should be able to see a screen recording because I plugged it into something that's recording the screen. We got us an Apple mouse from the appropriate time period. There isn't a keyboard connected. No problem. Let's grab this keyboard, which is actually 3 years older than this computer. A little bit more of a process when you're making a video about an old Mac that isn't a laptop. I'd completely forgotten what was on this drive, but I remember now. It's some dude's personal information. We'll be wiping this massive 120 gigabyte hard drive later in the video, but for now we can have a look around and see that this guy was definitely an enjoyer of music borrowing services from the early 2000s. Oh, and Adobe Flash, remember that? Alright, so now that we know this thing works, it's time to actually reinstall this operating system. Originally, I was going to go with the OS this thing shipped with, which would be this, OS 10.4 Tiger, and then I realized that's the PowerPC disk. I can't use that on an Intel machine. So that's out. I ended up going with OS 10.6.8 Snow Leopard, installing it with a circular disk, of course. But the part I haven't told you is that I just glossed over hours of pain and suffering, because that was a working disk drive you just saw, and the one in there at this point is not working. It's faulty, as I literally wrote on it 8 months ago. But the reason I installed it was because I didn't really remember how it was faulty, and I was too lazy to watch my own video, because, to be honest, my videos are cringe. It spat the disk out like week-old pasta.
Rewind time.
To be honest, my videos are cringe. Thanks for subscribing, by the way. Anyway, it's a weird drive because for some reason, when I put my FireTunes subscribe to my channel disc in there, it thought it was a blank CD. That is actually not a blank CD. Are you stupid? When you insert a blank CD in the drive, an actual blank one, it just spits it out in disgust, and I tried that several times. But wait, it gets better because I had an extra drive lying around, but it's a laptop drive. Got 2006, 2007, it should be fine. I mean, it'd be nice to do the reinstall and actually have it suck the DVD in that it's using to reinstall itself into itself, if you know what I mean. Oh, and if you're wondering, there's a window over there. The sun is setting. That's why I have a halo over my head. Yes, I am an angel. Subscribe. So it's time to take the computer apart again, not for the last time. 6 screws on the optical drive. Let's take that out. And then we got the other drive. It has a cable connector on it because, well, it's from a MacBook. Simply just remove the tape that's attaching it to the CD drive, and bang, it comes out with a little bit of encouragement. And then I had to take off this metal bracket bit at the top as well, and we can try to put it in the computer. I got it in there okay, but only 2 of the screws fit. So I screwed those 2 in and left the others out. I put the computer together again, and let's test it. I inserted my FireTunes disc, and it actually read it for some reason. So that worked, but what was weird is it did not read a blank disc, it just spit it out. A half-working drive is better than a barely working drive, but that is not acceptable. It would not read a DVD or a blank CD, so we're gonna have to move on. And, well, harvest a drive from this Mac Mini. This other Mac Mini was released the same year as our Core Solo, except it's the Core Duo, which is dual core and the better version of the Mac Mini that same year. So obviously they have swappable components, but the funny thing about this optical drive is that it's the one that was originally in the Mac Mini we're trying to fix today. That faulty drive was actually in this better Mac Mini, and in the video where I obtained these, I actually made the better of the 2 Mac Minis the working one. But in this video, we're flipping the script and making the bad Mini the working Mini. And there's the drive that we know works. And about that faulty drive, I just decided to put it in the computer we're harvesting this good one from, mostly because I didn't know where to put these screws, and I figured why not just put them where they go. And while I was at it, I thought I'd see if this drive would do a different thing in a different computer, but no, it still thinks that the FireTunes subscribe to my channel disc is a blank CD, and it's just not a blank CD. I decided to put this Mac Mini's hat back on, which later I'd end up regretting because we're going to need to borrow some more of its components later, but let's move on for now. Oh, there we go. I popped in. This actually very reminiscent of putting an iPod back together. Now I've got to take it apart, remove that laptop drive, and put in the known working one. And you might wonder, why am I screwing in all of the screws, even the ones for the mid-frame, securing that to the board of the computer? Well, optimism. Am I allowed to be optimistic? All right, let's feed the compact disc to the machine. Eat it. The CD did show up. Good, good. Can it play the movie? It's opening up the DVD player application. It's doing it. It's almost as if I reinstalled the original drive that was working before. Let's shut it down, but this time we're going to install the operating system. Yes, fellow internet people, join me while I install software. Eat it. Select the DVD. Let's boot into it. Use English as main language. Yes. Preparing installation. Wait, I can't install it on this computer? This computer doesn't have enough RAM for Mac OS X system requirements.
The recommended amount of dedicated RAM.
Really? Mac OS 10.6 is ancient.
This is a technical question you're asking. How much
RAM does it need? 1 gig of RAM is required. I need to upgrade the RAM. The dedicated RAM needs to be increased. It doesn't have very much RAM, 512 megabytes of DDR2. The other one has 2 gigabytes. What I have to do is swap one of the modules. Yes, the cursed thing of mixed memory sizes, but it's my only option. So we got to take out that massive 1 gigabyte stick of RAM, take apart the other computer yet again, and test it in one of the computers with the mixed memory sizes to see if it will work. Okay, let's start this one up. This is not the Core Solo, this is the other one, and we're just going to see if it's fine. Hopefully. 1.25 gigabytes. Thanks for not being stupid. Now we can finally insert that 1 gigabyte module into the Core Solo Mac Mini, reassemble it, and hope everything goes according to plan. I did make a bit of a mistake. That's the fan going at full blast, because after all these reassembles and disassembles, this is the first time I forgot to plug in that little connector, which means the computer has no idea what its internal temperature is, so the fan is going at full blast to compensate. No big deal, it's just that after all these reassembles and disassembles, my brain's getting a little bit fried. Alright, 1.2 gigas of RAM. It worked! Let's shut it down, and then plug that fan in on the other connector, and we should be good to install the operating system at last. Let's shove the CD drive in there, hold down the option key so we can very quickly go to the boot menu, and then the DVD should spin up. Oh yeah, there it is. Getting some deja vu for this. I will use English as my main language. See, it's been so long that I'm starting to slur my words. Guys, please help me by subscribing to my channel. You need to go into this, which is the disk utility, wipe all that dude's data. Goodbye, definitely legally acquired songs. Okay, now we can install it. Yes, good. I guess I'll see you guys on the other side. Did it install successfully? That's the real question. Oh, so exciting. It hasn't been 2 months. Oh, it has? Hey, I don't know if it installed successfully because I finished filming the last segment of the video and then just kind of set this thing on a shelf and collected dust these last 2 months, and well, the time has come. This is the max power supply. It's plugged into the wall, and if I just shove it in there, it should turn on. There it goes. For some reason, it's turning on without me pressing the power button. It's actually playing the welcome video for macOS Snow Leopard. It's working, guys. 2 months later, it still remembered what it had to do. In just a few steps, you can register and set up your Mac. I don't need to do any registering. I'm a United States individual. Creating my account. It's doing the things. It's loaded onto the desktop. It's spinning up the circular disk, which it doesn't need to be doing that. I think we can actually eject that. It spat the thing out. Excellent. It gave me back my circular disc, and now we have a computer that is actually, well, probably fine. The RAM shows up blazing fast, 667 megahertz of DDR2. Everything is fine. I forget, what's our graphics looking like? Oh, 64 megabytes of VRAM. That is gloriously terrible. Oh, but guys, our 19-year-old computer is driving this 1080p display. Keep in mind, this computer is ancient enough that people are probably using CRTs with this Mac more than they were using the not big, enormous, fat screens. Now that I've got everything booted up and loaded up, what can I do with this computer? Well, I've got a hard drive here, and it has some games and stuff on it. It's a FireWire hard drive. Plug it in. We haven't even put the computer's hat back on yet, but I guess we're gonna get some better cooling performance without the hat being on the computer. We're gonna have the ultimate gaming experience on our ancient piece of object here. Oh, the hard drive has shown up, 40 gigabytes. If y'all remember in my video about the Power Mac G4, the ancient 2001 enormous behemoth of a Mac, I tried to play this file here, just one of my old Minecraft videos from 2021, and it played at 1 frame. Just 1 frame. It would play the sound at 1 frame, and then when you paused it, the frame would change. Can this computer play this file back faster than 1 frame? I'm hearing my voice from 4 years ago come out through these speakers.
1 billion Skyblock coins on
But
a...
also, I'm just hearing my voice come out through the speakers. Notice how it's still black? It's not even playing at a frame. What if I put it on the desktop, guys? We gotta get, like, the video file playing back experience. If one is to use this computer, oh god, that is so slow because this is ancient technology here. Let's do some multitasking. While it's transferring files, let's look at this 1080p video here. Can this computer play back 1080p? Oh, look, there's my ugly fat face. Does that look fluid to you? No. And to be clear, the limitation, I don't think, is the transfer speed. It's the stupid Core Solo that's the limitation. I don't know why, but it's sitting at like 80% CPU utilization. It's not even doing anything. But what if I just play that video we just tried to look at? It's just black screen. I hear my audio and everything, but it's just black. Go away, QuickTime Player. Everyone loves Plants vs. Zombies. Can this thing play it at any reasonable amount of speed? It's gonna take forever to load it. Remember, guys, this is a single CPU core computer, not multiple cores, 1 core. I hear Plants vs. Zombies, but I don't see Plants vs. Zombies. I see the cursor. See, watch, I can even move it in and out, and it's at 100% CPU. Oh, I just clicked on it and moved the window, and then it showed up. Okay, well, that's fine. Click to start. Plants vs. Zombies, this is such a good game. I play this so much on the iPad. I'm already detecting frame drops. This is just the first level, and I guarantee you it's gonna struggle. I detect not completely smooth. Oh, look, we already did the level. Oh, no. More grass? A huge wave of zombies is approaching. We're gonna watch this thing drop many, many frames. Click the sun. Okay, disappointingly, there wasn't very many zombies, so it didn't really get a chance to drop many frames. But let's see about the other games. Civilization 4. This is a game that came out 20 years ago. I need to insert the circular disc. I'm a little bit afraid that this drive will scratch up the disc, but I guess we'll take that risk. See, real gamers use the Mac DVD. It's not good when the intro video frame drops that hard. Wait, it's below minimum specifications? What are you talking about? Oh, CPU speed, 1.8 gigahertz or faster. Oh, that's why. This thing has 1.5 gigahertz. Oh, okay. It will not run on this hardware setup. Okay, then let's run it anyway. Oh no, I'm actually seeing graphical glitches. That's bad. It's almost like this is not a gaming machine. And you guys are just watching the video. I actually have to sit here and watch it load. That is just actually torturous. Oh my, look at my character. It's very, very graphically glitched. Now that's some nice seconds per frame if I've ever seen it. I feel my hand here. This is where the exhaust fan is. Here the air coming out's really hot, so I guess this functions as a nice hand warmer. So just put this right next to your mouse pad. It'll just warm your hand. So that's a real way to utilize this Mac to its fullest potential. Exit to desktop. No more of this, please. You can see the CPU graph. Just 100% maxed out that entire time. I think we forgot about the most classic Mac game. chess. Who says Macs aren't for gaming? Chess has literally been built into the Mac since a long time. I actually think it looks the exact same as this on current Macs. I can move the thing, and I have no idea how to play chess. So, next. What about photo booth? But this thing doesn't have a webcam, you say. Apple had a webcam from about this same time period. Notice how it's sealed. You see the little sealed plastic on this thing? We're not going to be opening it in this video, but we will be unboxing this in a future video and having a proper look at the experience of this camera. So get subscribed for that. These go for about $100 on eBay, new sealed, as this one is. But I happen to have a not sealed one right here. We got to eject our FireWire hard drive. That's because we got to borrow the FireWire cable, plug it in right there. There it is. Split screen. Which one looks better, guys? Looks pretty good for a 20-year-old webcam, right? And it's sitting at like 50% CPU utilization. What if I take a picture? Oh, there it is. No CPU spike, huh? You mean I can make it my account picture just by clicking that button? Yeah, okay. That's my account picture. The effects. This is not going to be kind to the CPU. 100% CPU. It's rendering all these effects in real time, guys. Can you believe that? Maximum CPU utilization. I think we need a better account picture than that other one. Now, there's the account picture. Oh, how beautiful. All right, that's enough of that. If you guys haven't already unsubscribed after watching my totally funny sequence with this... Close that mechanical shutter. Nice fidget toy, if anything. Let's see if this thing can connect to the Wi-Fi, and will it instantly blow up? You know, guys, Apple didn't used to refer to Wi-Fi as Wi-Fi. They called it airport because... Apple. I have connected it to the network. Let's open up Safari. And look, guys, it even has YouTube pre-loaded as a bookmark. I clicked on it, and it's loading. Oh, it says, please update my browser. I honestly expected nothing to happen. Remind me later. I don't care about updating my browser. Oh my gosh, guys, it's actually loading. Surprisingly, it's at 1% CPU. I can see the outlines of thumbnails, and that's it. But that's more than I expected it to do. Everymac.com. Great place to look at old Mac information, and I use that in my videos quite a lot. It should work on this computer, because you can look at information about old Macs on old Macs. Look at that. It's right there. It's the very first one that was an Intel machine. The original price of this computer was $599. I don't know if this computer was configured with anything, which would have increased the price. But the very wild thing is that's $599 for this computer. In 2006, inflation adjusted to quite a lot of money. But the current Mac Mini is cheaper than that. One last thing, though. Let's try to do a Google search. Google's pretty bad these days with all the slop they throw in their search engines. I don't even know if a regular search will work anymore with all the random ads and stuff that'll just suck up this computer's very, very tiny amount of processing power. And also the ancient web browser and all that. How to spell words. That's a good one. That looks like an old-looking Google UI. There's no AI slop at the top. I genuinely didn't expect that to work. Click on videos. Will it show anything, guys? This is content, okay? Real content. Look at this. I can actually see a YouTube video. Not watching it, but I can actually see the thumbnails more than I had expected it to do. Let's click on it. Nothing's gonna happen, right? We got, like, the random outlines of the subscribe button. We got the little YouTube logo in the URL bar there. I think that's all it's gonna do. So let's shut it down and unplug it from the juice. Surprisingly, everything's gone pretty smoothly after our minor problem with the circular disk drive and the RAM. There it is, all ready to be put back together. Oh, that is hot. So you could also probably turn one of these upside down, and I don't think I've forgotten anything. I think we can finally put its hat back on, and I know in my original video, I made a big deal about wanting to keep the same hat with the same computer, and the problem is I actually, even though I labeled them and made a big deal about doing it, I somehow forgot. But this computer is computer A. We can reunite it with its original hat. It is now fully back together. Excellent. Should I take that sticker off? I failed miserably. Clean it off, guys. Oh, gosh. Look at that. Brown. It's dirty. I could have had much better frames per second in the games if I'd only have cleaned off my gaming Mac before starting. And there it is. All cleaned and looking much better than it did. So this Mac Mini, obviously not all that usable in 2025, at least with the out-of-the-box vanilla experience, such as the highest officially supported macOS version and the ancient version of Safari. And there are Macs a handful of years newer than this that are still quite usable with the highest officially supported version of macOS. But not this, the original Mac Mini with an Intel processor. But hey, at least it has the same Ethernet port as the current Mac Mini, and this Mac Mini came out before the iPhone. So technically, the Mac Mini has not received an Ethernet port upgrade since the original iPhone. It's actually crazy. But that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe or you're bad. And every time I make a video, there's also a supporter video for those on YouTube or Patreon, depending on which platform you choose. choose to support me on. They are the same perks. It's just that YouTube steals a bit more of your donation than Patreon does, so Patreon is the preferred platform, but YouTube is for the convenience, and I keep piling things up for videos, and it's getting to be a lot. In fact, I have more things than I can make videos about, but that gives me a lot of options. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you guys next week.